Call this meeting to order. Let the record show Raleigh Board of Education is in regular session. All board members are present, except for Mr. Ford and Ms. Hutchins. I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as was submitted.
I'll move. Second.
Been properly moved second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Okay, we have down to delegations to speak on non-agenda items. Ms. Beckett.
Good evening. My name is Sarita Beckett. I'm a product of Raleigh County Schools, raised by a Raleigh County school teacher, retired Raleigh County teacher with 40 years experience, a parent, grandparent, and a citizen of Raleigh County. My reason for speaking to you this evening is to express my deepest concern for the state of public education in our county, state, and country, but specifically in our county. We all know that the public education system is under attack throughout the state and country. Why? The answer to this question is multifaceted, but in my opinion, the biggest issue is that our schools have veered off the track of being student and learning based to being data and curriculum driven. Before I continue, I want to express and make it very clear that I'm not here to complain about teaching staffs. They're doing a remarkable job with unreasonable expectations and requirements. Since I have a deep involvement with my 3 grandboys, worked with them 3 days after school, I'm seeing this firsthand. My reasons for speaking are strictly from personal observations. It seems we've lost our way in education. In today's elementary classrooms, teachers are attempting to teach some concepts that are not developmentally appropriate for that grade. In math, most students in most grades are being taught 4 to 5 ways to complete a problem. For example, how to add, how to subtract, how to multiply or divide. Students are then told to choose the method they like the best. Many students are so confused by the various methods, they have no idea which one works best for them. What happened to teaching the standard algorithm? And then if a student is struggling with that method, the teacher teaches that individual student a different way. This type of frustration leads to affecting student self-esteem and causes them to dislike or even hate the subject. Pushing students to attempt to learn concepts before they're ready can create a lifelong issue with a subject that's almost impossible to overcome. Where has the common sense gone? Just a little background. My teaching experience was mostly upper elementary, grades 5 through 6 math. I saw this trend in teaching concepts that were inappropriate for that grade level beginning several years before I retired. But as an experienced teacher, I chose to teach and push for mastery of basic concepts that I knew students needed to have to be successful in learning more advanced concepts. Now in ELA in kindergarten, the goal is for all students to be reading before they leave that grade. So upon entering first grade, it is the expectation that most students will be mostly fluent. What happened to the child development experts and their understanding of how children's brains develop and that is how curriculums are designed? Not just pushing concepts, unrealistic concepts. Of course, there are some children that are ready before this time, but a large majority are not. So why are we trying to push a square peg through a round hole? Due to time limit, I've only given examples that I've seen in lower elementary students because this is where it all begins. But this is going on in all grade levels, and I could give you many other examples. I continuously hear about the vast numbers of increasing misbehaviors we're seeing in classrooms. My question is not why, but why not? When we have expectations for students that are above their developmental ability, obviously frustration happens. With frustration, we see behaviors that are not normal and sometimes they're extreme. Just because adults decide that students should be able to grasp more advanced concepts does not make it true. When textbooks are purchased that push those advanced concepts, that does not automatically make a student brain more developmentally ready to understand the information. It makes me extremely sad that the goal of education today seems to be geared to what does the data or formal assessment show, instead of what does the student exhibit. Continuous testing to see if they're ready for different topics of the yearly assessment has taken precedence over the classroom teacher assessing informally more than formally. The entire year is spent preparing for a test that proves what a student knows on the day, even the hour they take that test. It does not prove a student's true understanding of a standard. Only time spent in a classroom and the daily performances of the students gives that information. Please understand that I was and am a huge advocate of having high expectations and accountability for students, but that can only happen when the concepts being taught are developmentally appropriate. It seems extremely unfair to expect otherwise. With unrealistic educational expectation, the increase in classroom behaviors, and the increased emphasis placed on what testing shows instead of what students exhibit, I'm deeply saddened of where we're headed. I can see more students leaving public education and many more education employees leaving the profession. Is it too late to stop this cycle? I sincerely pray that it's not. The children in our county are too precious to let this happen. My hope is that common sense prevails. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no other speakers. Carla, no, is that correct? Carla, no one else showed up? Okay. Okay, she was talking about maybe not. Okay, we'll go into board reports. Ms. Smith.
Like everyone else, I attended the dedication at Stratton Elementary, which was a nice event for the community. And like Marie and Charlotte, I helped judge Hollywood Social Studies and Science Fair. That's always exciting to talk to the kids and let them tell you what they've learned about the project and why they were interested in it, and especially with the little ones, because I never worked with them much. So it's kind of cute for me to talk with them and listen to them.
Tamrick?
It's the same. Our Science and Social Studies fair was great. And I mean, they had some really good projects. However, parents put a lot of work in, I'm just gonna say. But they were good. And we also, the Stratton dedication was absolutely amazing.
Only thing I would have add to the Stratton thing, I want to thank the staff, our Starcher and everyone else who put all the time and energy into getting that ready. It was, I mean, it just didn't happen overnight. I hope everyone has a chance out there, if you're watching this live stream or whatever, to make arrangements to come and see that sometime. It's just quite a historical thing. It gives honor to that school, which it deserved and has for a long time. And I was really proud to be on the board when we got that accomplished. It was really nice. And I was really touched by the Stratton alumni when we had to thank the people on video singing. They all stood up and sang their alma mater. It shows the pride they had in that community and in that school. And
Made you cry.
yeah, it did. Made you cry, which made me cry. So that's another thing.
He poked me.
Yeah, I do it. But yeah, it was very thing. Also, I attended the school board. Charlotte and I attended school board training at Stonewall. Marie, she chose to go to the Greenbrier and see basketball.
I watched it virtually.
But then you watched it virtually.
I was
Well,
there.
you're like Gordy. You were on virtually. I don't know how much. Yeah, to do it. Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, dang it. But no, I'm sure you watched it. But it was really good training. It was on financial requirements and a lot of things coming down the pike on that. And it's challenging times in education, very challenging times in education. How we balance our budget with reduced enrollments. We have a lot of different folks think they know what's best for public education. And some of them think private education is the best thing, which I don't agree with, or homeschooling or whatever it may be. But so there's a lot of things financially, and the state's looking at ways to maybe moderate that. But that also scares me some when they start talking about the funding formula. And there's only so much money in the pot. So when you start messing with the pot, then someone's going to get left out. And at the present philosophy in Charleston, I'm not sure public education is going to get more money. The more money is probably going to go to someone else in another avenue, such as Hope scholarships or homeschooling or something else. So we have a fight ahead of us on that, and But it was good training. It's something that we need to look at, and there'll be some more financial things coming down. We want to talk to Darren about some reports they're requiring or want us as school board members to have every month to look at. Raleigh County's always been blessed to have an excellent financial secretary, and goes even before Darren. When Mr. Brooks was here when I've been on the board, they've always been very accountable and things. And a lot of school systems don't have that. And one of the things they say is the best school systems have low turnover in leadership, low turnover in superintendents, low turnover in financial secretaries. And I think that's one thing Raleigh County has not been jumping here and there trying to follow some pipe dream somewhere. We've stuck with what we had and did a good job with that. That's all I have.
I just have a couple things. So in terms of the tribute space, I just again want to, I want to thank everyone for coming to that ribbon cutting. And then I thank the community, the alumni. Really, it would have been impossible without them because they provided so much so that we could put that together. So I do hope they can all at some point come out and see it, and we'll arrange for that if they weren't able to come last week. GPA cards, those students that earned a 4.0 or higher GPA, we had 2,653 for the first 9 weeks. So those cards have gone out or will in the morning, one. So really proud of our students for their achievements and accomplishments. And then I just wish everyone a nice, happy Thanksgiving break.
Yep. She said she was going to cook something, bring it to us, but I don't know. Watch what you said. You said, I'm going to Walmart and get y'all something. That's what you said.
That is not true.
You
Did go to Walmart.
You sound like my wife. Oh, it's on. You're not telling the truth, Rick. Okay, I get that. All right. Our first thing we have is attendance reports. Ms. Lacey.
Good evening, Mr. Snuffer, Dr. Starcher, and board members. I would like to present the third month attendance data. For the third month, our attendance rate was 91.619. We had an enrollment of 9,496 with 5 high school exits for the month. We had 20 new homeschool notice of intents turned in for a total of 808. 5 new homebound for a total of 20. 16 new in alternative for a total of 37. And 6 new notice of intent for Hope Scholarship for a total of 877. In addition, I would like to announce that the attendance department is rolling out the December attendance challenge for every student in the county who has no more than 1 excused absence for the month of December. Their name will be entered into a drawing. At each program level, we will give 1 prize to 1 student who is present on December the 19th.
I just did a real quick math there, and I'm not the but 877 Hope Scholarship students is a little over $5 million state funding that we did not receive. Just so everyone's aware of some of the challenges we're against. I didn't go into the other schools. I just did the Hope Scholars. So, those are challenges the public schools have, the money we don't have to be able to do. I do appreciate your work on that and keeping us updated on that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go into iReady. Ms. Lowry.
Good evening, Mr. Snuffer, board members, and Dr. Starcher. Bear with me tonight. I'm recovering from a illness 3 weeks ago, but we'll get through it together. It doesn't hurt, just hard to hear. So I heard you mention at our meeting a couple of meetings ago at Mabscott about proficiency. So I wanted to share tonight how the already projected proficiency correlates with the GSA. So first I want to show you, if you look at the screen, that this is what an already dashboard looks like. And so when we look at our results for each of the diagnostics, I'm going to go into the county for reading. And remember that this is all middle and elementary schools. And when we go to look at results, and I'm looking at the reading for the county, we can click projected proficiency. Principals and teachers have this also for their school and their classrooms. And this just shows that right now, if we did the GSA, it's projected that 32% of our county would be proficient on grade level standards. That's if we had no additional growth. If our students meet typical growth, we are projected to do 44%, and that is today. Remember, this is beginning of the year data. And then stretch growth is where we catch up, where we're closing the gap. If every student met stretch growth, which typically doesn't happen, but we would be at 65% in reading. Now, typically we find ourselves somewhere in the middle here. So last year we performed 50% proficient on ELA for the county, but we were projected to do 48%. So we were only off by 2%. We actually did better. So if we wanted to look at math, this is for all schools as well. Projected proficiency. If we had no more growth and took that today, our county would probably be right around 23% proficient on grade level standards. If we had typical growth, which is a year's worth of growth, we'd be around 50%. And if every student closed that gap, we would be around 65. Like I said, we're usually somewhere in the middle. Last year, we performed 45% in math, which was 2 less than we were projected to do. So in your folders, you'll see a chart that looks like this, green and white. And if you'll look at that there, it shows the difference. The first column for math and the column for ELA tells what the actual percentage of those students that were proficient on mastering their grade level standards on the general summative assessment. The column beside of that is what I already projected them to be after our last benchmark, or our last diagnostic. So you'll see that they were very close to what the projected proficiency was. ELA is a little different because GSA incorporates their writing. Already does not measure that. So that's why there's a difference in the projection. For example, Fairdale did 18% better than they were projected to do. A lot of that was based on their writing. But at the bottom, you'll see that the average was a minus 2% difference in math on what we were expected to do, and a positive 3.6% in ELA. So yes, there is a very close correlation to the already diagnostics and the GSA. You have any questions?
Oh, I make a comment and kind of goes back to what Mr. Beckett said. I really kind of measures through the whole year,
Correct.
but just is one day. Do I not feel good that day? Did mom jump onto me? Did I not have the right outfit to wear that day? Those all affect schools, especially elementary kids and stuff. So I always thought that test would be better off if that test was administered over a series of tests and averaged in than the one. We put such weight in that one day.
Yeah.
One thing.
And this one is, we do 3 diagnostics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree. Like, we can weigh the baby, but we have to feed them.
Yeah. But I appreciate that, because I just noticed when we looked at that down, some of them, there was a big difference. Some of them,
Correct.
and
So it is pretty close.
it's pretty close stuff. Yeah. And it is good measuring. It gives us some things to look at
Yes, sir.
and do it.
But you do need to feed them appropriately.
Yeah.
That's true.
Developmental stage.
Yeah.
You do,
Yeah.
Which we don't.
Yeah.
We use those standards that we're given.
Yeah, it's the thing. Basically, the comment was made about textbooks. We only can pick the textbook the state approves,
That's correct.
so you don't get any choice.
And we do let our teachers pick those.
Yeah, let them pick from
Our
those
committees.
choices, from their
Yes.
choices. Yeah,
Correct. Yes.
exactly.
But they also have to get on the adopted list. It's my understanding. costs like $1 million or something to get on the state approved list.
But they do have to meet 80% of the standards.
I mean, it's a lot of money that those book companies put in to get on the adopted list.
I don't know anything about that yet.
And if you have a smaller,
I know you have to apply and you have to send in all these criteria. Yeah.
spend money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anything
Money in
else?
education, dear. Money in education.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
process of
in
it.
textbooks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Want to say, Kristen? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now we have Tamber. She's going to bring us fudge. Tamber.
It's close, but it's not Christmas yet. Good evening, Mr. Snuffer, Superintendent Dr. Starcher, Marcia, and Marie, since we have just a few today. So this evening, I'm presenting PSAT data. This is, oh, went too far. Hold on. We have started last year wanting to make sure that our high school students were assessed on the same program format that the benchmarks that they are assessed on in 11th grade. Let me get this going back again. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is for 9th through 11th grade. So this year, end of October, all 9th graders, 10th graders, and 11th graders completed the PSAT. Why did we do this? For several reasons. All of our schools are working on students creating student goals, seeing where are they starting, where is that starting point for them on the PSAT. It is definitely providing information to students as far as how close are they maybe to being eligible for merit, how close are they for promised scholarship. We want to talk about money, there's money attached to SAT scores. So they will take 9th, 10th, and 11th took it in October. 9th and 10th will take it again, the PSAT, in March. Of course, 11th grade will take SAT April 14th. That is the SAT school day. So I do have a little bit of data to go over with you. And this is kind of just overall data. For 9th grade, you'll notice that the 778, that first benchmark, that is the 9th grade average for Raleigh County schools. The average for 9th graders in the state of West Virginia is 799, and in the nation is 826. So for our 9th graders, we are below those averages, and that is something that our schools are aware of, and they are working on building that information and preparing students a little bit better for the spring. For 10th and 11th grade, for state and national averages, they don't break it down by grade. That's together, which I don't particularly care for. But for 10th and 11th grade, Raleigh County Schools was at an 854 average score. West Virginia was at an 880, and the national average was 952. So we do have quite a bit of growth there. All of our high schools have significant plans in place and how they are addressing and approaching this information. They have set student goals. They have, the teachers have the data. The principals have broken down this data and sent me lots of charts and things that they've done with it. They have rearranged schedules for like their links curriculum, providing reteach, pre-teach, whatever may need to be provided for those students. But there's quite a bit of stuff going on in our schools addressing those PSAT scores. Instead of just waiting until 11th grade when they take the SAT, we now have a kind of like a glimpse into what it might look like.
When you look at that PSAT, that's a bulk score. Is there a certain area that we really fall down in
Yes.
than others?
Yes, math is quite a bit, is significantly lower. You'll see that here in a second.
Okay, thank you.
For PSAT, it's identified in 3 areas. Either students are not yet approaching, they're approaching, or they meet and exceeds. It is those 3 categories only. Obviously not approaching, they're nowhere near ready to say that they're mastering that concept. I did break down school by school data for you, starting with Independence High School. I did, because I had the actual scores to look at for each specific grade. In ninth grade, you can see ELA and math. I did break it down. Those are the exact numbers of students in the ninth grade that are not yet approaching ELA. There were 47 at Independence High. There were 22 at Independence High in ninth grade that were approaching, and 49 that were meets exceeds. You can see if we wanted to compare the not yet approaching for math in ninth grade was 91. That is significantly higher. It is the same students. So if 47 are not yet approaching an ELA, we pretty much double that and say 91 of the additional students are not approaching in math. Only 8 approaching in ninth grade and 19. So there's quite a bit of work to do there in ninth grade. It is also important to note that for ninth graders, they took the 8-9 PSAT version. So it is definitely quizzing them, testing them on skills that are appropriate for ninth grade. They may throw in a few like trig type problems, but it is still the bulk of Algebra 1 type concepts. You can see there for Independence, those are the specifics, numbers for 10th and 11th grade. Our goal, and the reason I provided this after this benchmark is after the spring benchmark, we will definitely look to see exactly how many in each of those have we moved, have we made progress with, how many 11th graders, those won't, but for 10th grade, have we increased the number of students in approaching and meets and moved them out of the not quite even approaching. Again, Liberty High School, the exact same setup, broken down 9th, 10th, 11th grade, not yet approaching and meets in both categories. Again, you can easily see for all 3 grade levels, it is significantly higher for math, which is something that we just continue to work on. Shady Spring High School, they also show the exact same trend in that data. Not yet approaching in math is significantly higher in each grade level than the not yet approaching in ELA. And again, for Woodrow, data continues to show the same. There are several things that, we've put in place this year for 9th grade, especially through Gear Up funding. We've provided quite a bit of training for 9th, 10th grade teachers as far as, instead of using the approach of, they're in high school now, they need to, figure it out, this is how it is. We need to do a better job, and that goes not just in preparing them or making them aware of how things are in high school, but realizing the standards that we're teaching in those levels that we need to be, appropriate for those students as well. A 9th grader is still a 9th grader. They are different than a 12th grader. So, we definitely need to, really slow down and think about 9th graders and provide them exactly what 9th graders need. Any questions or comments about that data? No, thank you.
It's nice, but it's scary as hate. I really just I did a against simple math on my look at over 80% of the kids in 3 schools looked at in the 9th grade are not
correct
yet approaching math rate, and you take out the couple, so we're down to about maybe less than 10, around 10% are the ones who are exceeding. So
correct.
90% of the kids, you take the ones who are approaching and everything out there, and I just say that's not good enough.
No, it's not.
That's not something that we want to go out and do. And so I'm not sure what we have to reinvent on that. So I know that hopefully what the principals are working on and the guidance counselors and you guys here at Central Africa can improve that. But that's scary on math scores to be that low.
I think what Ms. Beckett said earlier about lower grades, that those kids need to know the basic concepts in addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication before they go on to doing algebraic equations in the 3rd grade. It's crazy. And that's why, then they just keep going down. You know, we're going to have to get back to where we teach them basic math in lower grades, you know, and not wait till they get in the 9th grade and then wonder why they're down.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to, I mean, I can, Ms. Lowry has presented this to us before, and it goes into grade school things. Those scores not ready. Those math scores are low there. They're not going to jump up and all of a sudden be high when they get to high school. I mean, it's not going to be some kind of boom. We're going to wave a wand over them and all of a sudden, okay, now you're in high school, your scores are going to go up. So,
Got to stay on those basics.
so we do the thing, and, you know, the answer is, and, you know, it's just something, you know, we need to work on, and I appreciate, at least by giving them the test or getting an approach to it and stuff.
Correct.
We'll have this, we'll take the SAT, what, and you say May?
April 14th for 11th graders only.
Right.
But 9th and 10th, we'll do the PSAT
Again.
benchmark again.
Then you'll present those
Correct.
scores to us.
Yeah, so it'll just be 9th and 10th grade when I see you again in the spring.
For the kids to have that.
Like I said, it's making them aware, it's making parents aware that there's money attached to those numbers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of kids, you know, they're in the 9th grade, they're not even thinking, should I take it in 10th grade and hope to qualify for merit? But when they see their scores, it's like, oh, wait, I'm pretty close. Like, that's a good thing. But it definitely makes them very aware of where they're at and where we're starting, you know, as a baseline in 9th grade.
Well, I mean, I know my granddaughters have taken the SAT, well, once in college now, same. They may take it 4 times.
Yes.
Because they're looking for that extra few points.
Agreed.
There's a certain level, you get those really big scholarships, and that's what they're looking for. They're pushing those.
Correct.
Pushing.
My son did the same thing. He took it multiple times trying to raise his math score.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he had maybe had the chance to take that PSAT a couple of times, it would have made a difference for him.
Well, that's what they say. Every time they take it, they feel more confident.
Correct.
At the testing part of it.
Yes.
Do it, so. This is a really interesting day. I do appreciate it.
Thank
Board
you.
members have any questions, comments? Okay, I just appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Ford? I just kidding. Yeah, I got you. I'm kidding you. Okay. Okay, policies and procedures. We have one policy out there, D.3.16 wellness policy. Dr. Starcher.
No comments were received during the 30-day comment period. I would recommend the policy be approved as presented.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Got a second. Been probably moving second. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Consent items. Any items on the consent agenda that anyone wants to remove to be discussed? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve the consent items as were submitted to you. And probably second?
Second.
They're probably moving second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. New business. Nothing under that. Consideration of personnel. Approve superintendent recommendations for personnel 25-26. Any corrections or additions? I think there's some coming.
Good evening, everyone. If you will flip to page 2 of your corrected recos, you will see about 3/4 of the way down under the extracurricular elementary, there's a correction for a name that should read Deanna Martin. And the effective resignation date was clarified as 11/14/2025. Those are all the
Any
corrections.
corrections? Kind of boring. You didn't do much there. Yeah. Superintendent Starcher, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is as presented with the corrections noted by Ms. Samaco.
You've heard superintendent's recommendation with the corrections as been noted. To have a motion to approve them.
Go ahead. I'll second. Okay, I move we approve that.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Approve the following speech pathologist for contractual services. We have just the one. Oh, we got, he's coming here. Okay, good deal.
Good evening, Mr. Snuffer, Superintendent Dr. Starcher, board members.
I'm asking that you consider the approval of Gianna Hunsaker for speech pathologist contractual services for 25-26 school year. This need is tied to the maternity leaves and other unforeseen situations and circumstances that have impacted our speech language pathologist pool. The contracted services are necessary to ensure that we meet the speech minutes as indicated on student IEPs.
Are those on an as-needed basis or?
Yes,
limits on hour?
they're on as needed. Yes, sir.
Okay. You've heard, Superintendent, let's get your recommendation on that.
My recommendation is that the board approve Gianna Hunsaker.
Okay. You've heard the superintendent's recommendation and you've heard the discussion. Any discussion, I have a motion. Second? Second. Probably moved second. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say I'm saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. That's all we have on our agenda. I want to wish every one of you guys a very happy Thanksgiving. And we always say what we're thankful for, and I'm thankful for all you guys. What you do every day for Raleigh County students and the children out there in our county. It doesn't go unnoticed. We probably give you a little heck for sometimes when you don't, we think you get there. But I do appreciate when you do it. And I appreciate all the hours and hours and stuff and the time you give from yourself and your families. That being said, this means adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.